Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out this afternoon to the wonderful Atlantis here in Nassau. We are here as a press conference and celebration for the inaugural Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. For the first time since 1937, two United States teams will make the trip outside the U.S. or Canada to play a postseason bowl game, and we are very proud and very thrilled to have the teams here today from Central Michigan and WKU. So at this time, I'm going to introduce the people who will be speaking, starting from my immediate left, the president of the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl and the commissioner of Conference USA, Mr. Britton Banowski. Our executive director of the Popeyes Bahamas Bowl, who many of you know from the Battle for Atlantis, Ms. Lee Miller. The chief marketing officer of the United States from Popeyes Louisiana Kitchen, Mr. Hector Munoz. From the Bahamas Ministry of Tourism, Mr. Tommy Thompson. And our two head football coaches. From WKU, the head coach, Jeff Brom, and the head coach of Central Michigan University, Dan Enos. So at this time, I'm going to pass it over to Britton Banowski, the president of the bowl, to welcome everyone here to Nassau and for a great bowl week. Britton.
Okay, thank you, Chris. I'm very pleased to be here, and I also am very appreciative of all of you coming out today to help us promote and talk about this great bowl game. It's almost here. It seems like over a year ago when we first came down and started talking about this, and actually it was almost 18 months ago when we thought about this for the very first time, and to have it less than 2 weeks away is something that's very cool for us, and it's a reality now, and so we're very excited to be able to do this. We really had two objectives when we started talking about this. The first objective was to create a great game and a great experience for the student athletes and the coaches and the universities. That's a priority, and there are a lot of great places to play football, but we could not think of a better place in the world than here for student athletes from our universities to come and play college football. And so we're very excited about that. And equally important, the other objective was to try and enhance and continue to introduce the game of college football and football to this great Bahamian nation and the people of the Bahamas. We know that there are folks here who love football. They watch it on TV, and they have an opportunity to kind of create a more enriching experience around the sport of college football is something that we absolutely want to do, and we want to do it over a long period of time in the hopes that the youth and really all the folks in the Bahamas get a great appreciation for the great sport of football, particularly college football. Our team here, we have a few of them here. To my left is Lee Miller, who was instrumental in getting us going and who is our executive director. We have in the back of the room, I see Alfred White from my staff here. We have Bob Generelli from the Mid-American Conference here. Thank you, Bob. These people have worked very hard getting the game going, but probably the quiet one in the room, the one who probably has done more than anyone, is Mr. Richard Giannini, our senior advisor, who thought he was retired, and then he found a new job. So Richard, we very much appreciate all of your work, and also Chris to my right. In order to have a game like this, you have to have partnerships. You have to have people who align in interests with you, and you have to all have a common vision for what can be accomplished, because this is not an easy thing to do. It's very challenging actually to have a bowl game to begin with. It's really challenging to have a bowl game in a foreign country. What we've learned, and so without these folks, there's no way we could have really pulled this off. I'd start at the top with the great people at the Ministry of Tourism, and I know Tommy, you're here for your team, but I very much enjoyed working with Permanent Secretary Thompson and the entire staff. Angelica's here and others, and so thank you very much for the professionalism and the approach you've taken to making this game work. Also not here, I guess, is the Ministry of Youth, Sport, and Culture, Danny Johnson, and he also was very helpful at the beginning getting this going, and helps us work through relationships with the folks at the stadium and Jeff Beckles, which we appreciate. Next up, it was critical to get a partner, a corporate partner that believed in what we were doing and that saw the vision, and we're so pleased that Popeyes came on board. Hector, thank you very much for your faith in this event and for putting all the energy and effort into it. Popeyes is an amazing company. Popeyes has done also an amazing job of branding. If any of you have been to the United States recently and you've gone into a Popeyes, you'll see the Bahamas Bowl cups and activation in store in over how many stores? 1,000 more?
In the U.S., about 1,800.
1,800 stores, and that kind of advertisement and promotion is something that you just can't get. And so we very much appreciate your commitment there. The folks here at Atlantis have been unbelievable. This is a tremendous property and a great asset in this community, and so we're very pleased to have a deep partnership with George Marcantonis, and then I think Paul Burke is here somewhere. So thank you very much, Atlantis. And finally, relative to the corporate side, ESPN, we are going to put this game on ESPN1, a worldwide audience, 110 million homes at least, in an unopposed window on Christmas Eve. It has the potential, I think, to be the largest audience to view anything that's ever happened in the Bahamas. And so that's a lot of pressure for us. But it's also a great opportunity. And we have a great crew. The lead color analyst is Lou Holtz, former coach at Notre Dame. And so we feel blessed to have a partnership with ESPN, and this game is going to project extremely well on an international stage, which is awesome. We're bringing to the table for halftime the reigning champion, I think that's right. Is that right? Virginia? The Valley Boys are going to present at halftime, and the Valley Boys are a special Junkanoo group here. For those of you that don't know, what's the other one? The Saxons? Okay. Well, we're glad we got the Valley Boys, but we don't want to offend any of the Saxons out there. So we'll alternate. We'll alternate every year or something like that, just to keep the community spirit healthy. We're also pleased that the Bahamas All-Star Band is going to be presenting pregame. And then finally, we have a great partnership that we've developed over time with the folks at the Ranfurly Homes. And Alexander Roberts is here somewhere. Alexander, thank you for being here. They're a special nonprofit in your community that's doing great things for youth, and we're pleased to be able to sponsor 10 of your students for a year. And so that's something we're very happy to do. And welcome, Minister Johnson. Thank you for being here. The last thing I would mention, I guess, is youth clinic. We're very happy on the 22nd from 3 to 5 to have a youth clinic. We expect to have between 200 and 400 youth in the community. We're bringing in folks from USA Football to run the clinic. We also have developed not a partnership, but we're in cooperation with the folks with the Bahamas American Football Federation out of the Grand Bahamas, and so they'll be here. And so our hope over time is to foster the sport of football in the youth community, and that's something that we talked about early on in our conversation. So I've gone on for a while, but I just want you to know how excited we are to be here. Bowl week in the Bahamas, there's probably nothing better I can imagine than bowl week in the Bahamas, and it's almost here. So we hope all of you come out. We hope we can get the community out. One thing that I didn't mention, Popeyes generously will be serving free fried chicken to 5,000, the first 5,000 fans that make it out to the bowl game at a activation area outside the facility. And so it's the Valley Boys, it's the All-Star Band, it's free fried chicken, it's ESPN, and it's a great college football game. So thank you very much.
Well, it's kind of tough to go after Britain. There's just so many people to thank. And first off, I do want to thank Conference USA. And, helping us deliver this dream that came into inception about a year and a half ago. And there's so many people to recognize, and I think it's so important to recognize Richard Giannini for his countless efforts in this bowl game. And like Britton said, without our sponsors, clearly we would not be able to execute and activate this game. So first off, I really want to thank Popeyes and Hector and his team, who has worked tirelessly since the announcement several months ago. I also want to thank the Ministry of Tourism, as well as the Ministry of Youth, Sports, and Culture for allowing us to show the beauty of the Bahamas worldwide. I also want to thank the Atlantis for helping us deliver and believe in this dream as well, and hosting 2 top programs out of Division I universities in the United States. And I don't know if any of you saw the video that went viral from Central Michigan, but it really shows the excitement from these student athletes and from these universities. And we're sure Western Kentucky is just as excited. But I want to thank this country for really allowing us to execute this, and we are so excited. Hector.
Great. Thank you, Lee. Well, first, before I start, just want to let everyone know that it is a privilege for us to be here in the islands of the Bahamas, and obviously at this great resort at the Atlantis. Popeyes and the great game of college football have a lot of things in common. Most notably, the dedicated and extremely passionate fan base that exists for both. Because of that, we're very proud and honored to obviously be the title sponsor of this very historic inaugural Popeyes Bahamas Bowl. As Brenton said, we look forward to sharing some of our delicious food with all of you in attendance at this game as we watch 2 fantastic teams really battle it out on the football field at what we believe is one of the premier settings in the world, and that being the Bahamas. We're obviously proud to have Central Michigan and WKU here with us in Nassau. And from all of us at Popeyes, we want to wish you all the best of luck. Congratulations to both of you. Thank you.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Ministry of Tourism, it's my pleasure to welcome you all to the islands of the Bahamas. We are very excited about this game taking place on December 24th at the stadium in Nassau. We think this is going to be a fantastic event. What we're really pleased about is the fact that you've got ESPN. That's over 110 million eyeballs on the islands of the Bahamas. So congratulations to Greg and his team, Jeff as well, for doing such a great job bringing this here. We are very, very pleased to welcome you, and I think what's more important is the fact that this is the first game that you're having outside of the United States since 1937, and for you to choose the islands of the Bahamas, that's really a feather in our cap. Because one of the areas that we're really looking to promote is sports tourism, because we see these mega events as being a great catalyst to get more visitors to the islands of the Bahamas. So this really works very well with our strategy. And the fact that you have an in-store promotion with Popeyes with 1,800 stores, I mean, this is a marketer's dream come true. Thank you very much. We're really enjoying this. We just want to say welcome to the islands of the Bahamas, and we wish Central Michigan and WKU all the best, and may the best team win. And welcome to the islands of the Bahamas. Thank you.
Before we introduce the head coaches, just want to let everyone know that everyone here on the podium will be available for one-on-ones afterwards. The coaches are on a bit of a tight time schedule because of the site visits, so we'll get to them. And first, let me just introduce our guys. From WKU head coach Jeff Brom, first season with the Hilltoppers. They had a tremendous win to end the regular season. They won 4 in a row coming into this bowl game. And the Hilltoppers are an exciting football team that averages about 44 points a game. If you like watching the football being thrown around the field, these guys will deliver. They've got a tremendous quarterback and a good bunch. But I think the most important thing for the Hilltoppers here is a trip to the Bahamas and the excitement of their players and their staff to come here to be a part of this historic game. Coach?
Thank you very much. I'd like to obviously thank Commissioner Banowski, our athletic director Todd Stewart, and really all the leadership at Western Kentucky University for basically a year and a half ago having the foresight to get us into Conference USA. It's an outstanding conference. We're lucky to be in it, and to have the opportunity to attend the Bahamas Bowl our first year in the conference is outstanding, and we couldn't be happier. This is a tremendous bowl game that we're tremendously excited to attend. We want to thank Popeyes and all the sponsors and partnerships that are associated with this bowl game. I know our players, our fans, our administration are excited to attend this bowl and to actually view it on TV as well. But it's an outstanding venue. We want to thank Atlantis for allowing us to stay at this outstanding resort. Our players are more excited than you even want to imagine. And this is going to be a fun week. We're looking forward to the opportunity to showcase what our team is all about. We're grateful to be here in such a tremendous setting, and we're excited to play an outstanding football team in Central Michigan, which we think will be a very good matchup. But thank you very much, and we're looking forward to getting back here and playing the game.
And now for the head coach of the Central Michigan Chippewas, Dan Enos. Chippewas come in winning 5 of their last 7 games. They had a statement win early in the year against Purdue. Tremendous football team, and as has been mentioned earlier, the viral video of their student athletes finding out their destination was a tremendous hit, and I think a great commercial for the islands of the Bahamas. So with that, Coach Enos, if you'd like to talk about your team and their excitement of coming here to the Bahamas.
Absolutely. First and foremost, again, it's a privilege to be here. I'd like to congratulate Coach Brahm and Western Kentucky for an outstanding season. We certainly look forward to the matchup. We understand it's going to be a tremendous challenge, but congratulations to your team, Coach, and the way you finished and played with great effort, great toughness, and they're right, you guys throw the ball very well. So we were excited about where we were playing, and then we found out we're playing Western Kentucky and watched the film, and coaches had a little setback. So, but we're very excited. It's a privilege to be here, to be at a place, one of the greatest vacation destinations in the entire world to play a football game and a bowl game there. What an outstanding experience this is going to be for our student athletes, our families, our coaches, our administration, everyone. So thank you very much. Thank you to Popeyes. We recently just opened a Popeyes franchise in Mount Pleasant, Michigan. And I think before we even knew we were coming here, our coaches have been keeping that franchise going. I catch them in there quite a bit, and that's all they could talk about. When I was coming down here, they wanted to get some 10% off coupons or something. But I told them they needed to go to the gym a little bit first before we did that. But it's going to be a great experience, and to play in a bowl game is a huge honor and a privilege anywhere you go. And as I kept telling our team as the season went on, you just keep winning, and I go, guys, we're going to end up someplace warm. Well, I didn't know at the time it would be this warm, so they actually I got some credibility by saying that to them because they thought I knew all along. But I brought my family here 2 summers ago to Atlantis, my wife and 2 children. It was one of the greatest, most remarkable vacation memories we had, and to be able to come back here now with our football team is really an honor, and we're looking forward to it, and we're going to have a lot of fun, and hopefully we entertain everybody with a great game on the 24th. So thank you very much for having us.
And what I'll do here is I'll ask a first question of the coaches, and then we'll open up to everybody in there. And then Coach Enos, I'll ask you, this is a top 20 defense in the Chippewas facing a top 10 offense in the Hilltoppers. What is the challenge for you and your defensive group in this game?
Oh, it's they do such a good job of spreading the ball around to a lot of different people. I think their quarterback is an outstanding player. He's a tremendous passer. He's tough. You can really see him stay in the pocket for long periods of time. He moves subtly in the pocket and makes plays. Their running back is very good. So there's going to be a lot of challenges. I think you got to try to slow them down, and we got to have to tackle very well on the back end. But it's going to be a big challenge. And I know Coach Braun was smiling when he walked in because I think I read an article that their quarterback got a 6th year. So I'm glad we don't play in that league. I'm sure Conference USA wasn't very happy about that. But I think it all starts with him. He's a tremendous player. We're going to have to get him off his spot a little bit and try to create some different things for him to see before the snap and then post-snap.
And then you have a tremendous wide receiver in Titus Davis, and talk a little bit about what he brings to your squad.
Titus is an outstanding player. I think he's really one of the premier players in our league. Missed 3 or 4 games with an injury early in the year, but he's the only player in the NCAA history to catch 8 or more touchdown passes 4 years in a row. And anytime you can start a sentence with the only player in NCAA history, that's quite an accomplishment. He's very explosive, great ball skills, runs good routes. Will certainly have a future after this game, playing on Sundays. But tremendous worker, and he's been pretty much 85-90% the whole year, and hopefully we'll get him back here to 100% with a little bit of layoff before the game.
Coach Braun, we'll talk about your quarterback, Brandon Doherty, the Conference USA Most Valuable Player in 2014. Obviously, he got his 6th year of eligibility. For the folks here that haven't had a chance maybe to see your team play, what can they look forward to with him and your offense?
Well, it all starts with our quarterback, Brandon Doughty. He's done a tremendous job this year. He's thrown for more touchdowns and yards than anyone in the country right now, and he's really the leader of our team. And he's a guy that has improved dramatically since last year. He's worked very hard at his craft. He's put in the time. He is a tough football player, and he is a guy that we have to have play well in order to win. but it all starts with him. We have the ability to spread the ball around a little bit. We try to go at a decent pace. We try to get a lot of people involved, whether it's receivers or running backs. We want everybody to feel a part of the team, everybody to feel a part of the offense. Even when we practice, we want guys to rotate themselves in and out of there, and we want to have them fresh and ready to go. So we try to have fun with the game. That's what it's meant to be played like, and we're looking forward for this great challenge against the top defense, the #1 defense in their conference. So it's definitely going to be very challenging for us.
And then we'll open up to questions from folks here.
Well, I know our whole entire team is excited to do that, and we're fortunate enough to get in 2 good weeks of practice before we come down here, which will come down on, I believe it's December 19th, a Saturday, 20th, a Saturday, and a lot of our main work will be done by then. We'll have the opportunity to practice early in the morning, and then basically by lunchtime we'll have the chance to see all the sites, to get around, do a lot of fun things, experience the culture, and you can't even really imagine how excited our players are. We're looking forward to it. It's going to be a magnificent trip for them, for our families, for our fans, and we definitely want to get out and see everything that the Bahamas has to offer.
Yeah, just to piggyback what Coach said, I think that bowl games are a reward, and I think that bowl games obviously should be used as a time to educate your student athletes. So certainly, we're going to take an experience like this. I don't think anybody on our team's ever been here, nor I don't know if any of them would ever have an opportunity again. Hopefully they will to come back. So this is a unique opportunity. As I told our team, you see all those commercials all the time. The Atlantis commercials, and and I think this will be a wonderful opportunity in them. So we're going to work. We're here to play a football game. It's on national TV, as we were just reminded, in 110 million homes. So it's really important that we play well, but we certainly will provide them an opportunity to have fun and educate themselves about the Bahamas.
Well, we do have a decent amount of players that did get the opportunity to play in that bowl game, and we didn't come out on top. So I know our guys are excited for this matchup, to play a team that beat us a couple years ago in a bowl game. They are looking forward to getting out there on the field. And I think our team has continued to improve as the season's gone on. We definitely hit a good stretch the last part of the season, so we feel like we're playing good football right now. But we have to be ready to play this game. This is a team that is tough. They play fundamentally sound football. They'll run the ball at you. They're physical. They play outstanding defense, and those are normally the tough teams to play against, because you've got to take advantage of every opportunity, every possession when you have the ball. So we have to make sure that we're ready to go, and it's going to be a tough matchup.
As far as how many we're fans, yeah, actually, I'm not sure. You have to probably ask Dave Hickey. I'm not sure.
I'm not for sure either. That's kind of above our head a little bit, but we have a tremendous amount of excitement about the game. We have people finding every which way they can to make it here. We have quite a few players on our team from Florida, which the trip from there is much easier. So I do anticipate families and friends and fans to come that are located in Florida, and I think they'll have a tremendous time.
I would hope that, Michigan's pretty far north. If I lived there and had anybody associated with the game, I'd be doing anything I could to get here. I know that. So.
And I'll add that as we've talked about with our partners here, finding the right date for the game is important. The 24th we know is a challenging date for flights and for hotel rooms and for Junkanoo. We want to compliment Junkanoo on the front end. But as we move forward, we're going to learn from the experience we have this year, and we're going to find the way to position the game that enables fans to get the flights and get the hotel rooms and to be able to take advantage of it. And we'll certainly learn from the experience. So we don't have a sense for this year how many fans are going to travel. We hope a lot. But we do know that as we build this thing over time, it's going to continue to be enhanced in that regard.
Central Michigan, you had the tougher schedule. You guys go in as the favorite. Do you think that you guys had a tougher regular season schedule?
I don't know. We had a tough schedule. I think when you get to a bowl game, I believe that the opponent you play obviously is going to be very high quality. Yeah, and I really think that there really is no favorites. And when you get to bowl games, it's on a neutral site. As we've talked about at nausea, they're outstanding offensively. I believe their defense is playing very well right now. The multiplicity they have on defense. Their middle linebacker, Coach Holtz's outstanding player, and their defensive ends are good players. And so I think, and then the other thing you have to look at is we're not very familiar with them in their league, and they're probably doing the same thing. So trying to catch up a lot of that film work right now. But it's going to be a good game. I really don't believe there's probably a favorite heading into this thing. Yeah, actually, we have our indoor facility up to 80 degrees for practice tomorrow. That was one of our big things, was it's cold up there right now. So, that's why when we came down for the press conference, I was standing outside, because I'm like, this time of year, anytime you can stand outside and not be like in an isometric contraction, it's probably pretty good. So, we're going to try to get our indoor facility heated up as hot as we can get it to try to get our players acclimated to the weather a little bit.
Well, it was a tremendous moment for our team to find a way to win that football game. It really was a huge statement for our program. Our players worked hard to get to that point, and to find a way to win was huge for us. Now we have to come back down off the high, to be honest with you, and we have to refocus and realize that we've got to do everything in our power to win this football game. And anytime you go to a bowl game, like Coach Eno said, it's going to be a great matchup, and we have to get ready to play. We have to learn how to balance having a good time and also working extremely hard. Winning is extremely important to us and to obviously everyone, but we want to try to win the football game. And I think our guys are excited about it. You can't imagine the anticipation they have to get here, and we're looking forward to playing this game.
Having been at that Marshall game, I'll add that I watched the first half from a chair and was exhausted. We had 13 touchdowns scored in the first half of the game alone. It was a back and forth. Possessions were averaged about 1 minute, I think. And so it was one of the great football games that I've ever seen. And so I'm looking forward to maybe not seeing as many touchdowns, but having a very exciting game. And I think you were right when you said you're on a hot streak, because certainly you're probably playing as good as any team in our conference right now. Well, I mean, it's important in all of our postseason events to have a sense of community and engage, so that the community embraces the event, and it's kind of a symbiotic relationship that occurs. Those that participants in the event get a great experience, and then those in the community get a great experience. Here, it's even more important, I think, just because there's a newness to it and a greater opportunity to do that. And so we hope over the course of 4 or 5 years, as we build this, that we're able to kind of grow roots deeper and deeper into the community. It's a great experience, as the coaches said, for their players. Most of their players probably won't have an opportunity to come back to the Bahamas. It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience for them. And it's also obviously a great opportunity for us to introduce to some of the folks here, particularly the young folks here, the youth, the quality of the people that are on these teams, the young men that are in college, and try and create a college-going culture through the sport of football. If we can try and figure that one out, we will have done great. So it's very important, I think, over the long haul, to get that done right.
With that, we'll close our formal part of the press conference. At this time, we'll have a quick photo op with, bring the helmets up and have everyone in front of the backdrop. and then everyone will be available for one-on-one opportunities with everyone here. Thank you very much for attending, and we look forward to seeing you for Bowl Week and a great game on December 24th at Thomas Robinson National Stadium. Thanks.